It's Monday, May 28th, 2018.
Okay, so it is Memorial Day and we are here at the shop. Me as in George and I. Memorial Day, so happy Memorial Day to everybody, and thank you for everybody that served. Best thing about today is it's quiet. The drive-in was awesome, hardly anybody on the road. Alright guys, and welcome to the channel. Something a little different today, but not different at the same time. We have a super clean S2000. Let me show you around this car just a little bit so you can see what is in store. This car came semi-local. I'm not going to say where it came from, but it's about 60 miles away, so that for us is kind of local. Very, very clean. It's an 03 S2000. Let me show you the miles on this. You ready? Look at that, 26,000 miles. That is very low. Let me show you what we got going on under the hood. Look at that, this is clean and as stock as they come. The only difference is the bright yellow battery. But look at this. Hey, look at this. This option comes with a wrench. Look at that.
Just in case you need to work on it.
Yeah, that must be new. I haven't seen the S2000 come with a built-in quarter-inch wrench. Not a problem. We'll save that for you. Happens all the time. So at least it didn't damage the radiator. You slam that, it would crack the radiator. So what is going on this car, you're going to ask? Don't all yell out at once. Kraftwerk's kit. It's not. Teen suspension and sway bars and a turbo. See that box right there? It doesn't say Kraftwerk supercharger or Rotrex on it. So something a little different. A lot of people ask about, do you offer turbos? Do you do a turbo kit? When was the last time you did a turbo? We do a lot of turbos. Reason you don't see as many, and we get asked this all the time, the Kraftwerk kit is simply a better value. It's not better, the turbo isn't better, the supercharger isn't better. It's just a better value. Not just price-wise, reliability-wise, close the hood, forget it, that kind of reliability which we really like. And you don't have to be a mechanic or an engineer to understand it. You just get in the car, turn the key, drive it. You don't have to do a cool down, you don't have to let the oil stabilize in temperature or anything like that, where turbo, this is just a little bit more to it. Alright, looking underneath, it's super clean under here. This is a Hks header, and looks like Hks test pipe and full Hks exhaust. So we're taking this off. He's going to sell this, and we are building a single 3-inch titanium. For one, it's going to make more power with the turbo being a single 3, plus the weight reduction is going to be pretty extensive. So we'll weigh this. You guys probably don't care, right? Should I weigh this or no? Oh, what the heck, we'll weigh it. We'll weigh ours just so you've got a comparison. And obviously the header is going to be replaced with a downpipe, so this is going to go, but it's kind of fancy with the loop-de-loops over there. So the transmission looks clean. The customer was interested in how nice it was, and look at that, it's clean as a whistle. So transmission is off and OEM clutch is sitting there. You know what clutch it's going to get? It's going to get the FX400 with the billet flywheel. We saw a video of the weekend, somebody actually linked it to us, where some show were doing an S2000 and had all kinds of issues with the transmission. I mean, scary to see what they were doing to get the transmission down. This is a pretty smooth process. I'm not going to tell you how long it takes us to do a transmission, because you will think we are charging you too much. But keep in mind, we have done, no exaggeration, hundreds of clutches in S2000s. So it should be a pretty smooth affair. There shouldn't be all kinds of oil prints and grab marks and scratches over here from taking it out. It should be just clean as it was sitting in the car. You know you're fast at taking clutches out when the flywheel is still hot. We're taking it out, I could barely hold on to the clutch. Well, as you see, it's got some burn spots on there. Burn spot is usually, you'll see it in different areas. You'll never see the whole entire thing glazed and blue. You usually get hot spots, and what happens is when the clutch slips in that spot, it tends to get really hot in there, and then the part of the disc that's touching that will slip. So you'll get you know, spots or sometimes a third of the clutch or half the clutch, you'll see it blue all the way around. But once it starts to slip in that spot, it'll continue and it'll just keep, basically concentrate all the heat in those spots, which makes it slip more and more. All right, so we've got the 400 and the flywheel here. We buy a few of these at a time. I'm thinking what we need to do is send them out and get them cut all at once, because I talked about this, the surface is really slick. Well, this will take much longer to break in slick like this. If you look at the pressure plate on the clutch, they put actually a crosshatch, basically what we do on the flywheel, and it helps the disc break in, gives us something to bite onto. So rather than doing this and sending them out each time, we'll do a few at a time. What do you think? That'd be a good idea. He's not there. It's Memorial Day. So what do we do?
You hold off, I guess.
One in the case, is it surfaced?
It might be.
Let's check the one in the case. Alright, so when you get a clutch from us, when you do the Clutch Masters, whether we install it or we sell it to you, you're going to get the Nietzsche bearing. What's different? The Nietzsche bearing is what Honda used, the OEM bearing. We found it to be the best. There is a bunch of aftermarket ones, they all look very similar, and we've had them prematurely fail. This is a pull style, which means the fork behind here is pulling this, and the S2000 one seems to fail. The aftermarket one on the B series is a push style. We don't see the issues with that, but just demand a Nietzsche bearing, whether you buy a clutch from us or somebody else. And this is what this car is going to get. Alright, so I'm going to reenact this with an S2000 just to show you I am not scared. So I'm inside the wheel here. Still that Camaro. I have no idea why that oil comes out at 200 miles an hour, but fingers crossed. Ready? See that? Give you an idea of the distance. The oil is coming out about 18 inches.
This is what we expect.
Yeah, the Camaro came past that wheel. I mean, it was like 3 feet of jet. I think the engine's pressurized. That's weird. So oil is coming out. Obviously, we're going to drop the drain pan because the turbo is going to be draining back in the pan. I'm not sure where the drain is going to go yet. Once the turbo is sitting there, we'll run the drain down, probably somewhere about either in this spot or this spot, I'm guessing. We're going to go high up in the pan as we can. One option is you drill the crankcase here. One thing I don't like about that is, let's say you drill this and something goes wrong, you are in big problems because it's not an easy replacement piece. You drill this and something goes wrong, you weld on it, something goes bad, go to Honda, buy another one of those, and we're back in business. So while we're waiting for the oil to drain over there, these are some of the parts the customers brought. We're going to go ahead and install. These are 2 big sway bars and bushings. We'll go ahead and put those on while we're waiting for paint to dry. I said paint to dry, oil to drain. More oil we get out of it when we drop the pan, less oil we're going to have to deal with, so we'll let that drip. It's a nice looking sway bar.
Color fancy.
Alright, so we're doing a dry fit right now just to see where the areas have to be clearanced. We've done turbo kits before, and even in kit form, without being negative, they don't fit. And this is no different. So we have extra parts here. That's the 2-piece downpipe. That's the intercooler pipe. And with a little bit of test fitting just now, the intercooler pipe doesn't look like it fits. So we'll come back here in a second, show you where we're at, but we're basically making preliminary marks and notes where to change, where to clearance. There's a whole bunch of extra stuff you can do, like, you know, you can relocate the battery, relocate the fuse box, relocate oil lines, but that's additional expense for the customer that isn't anticipated, and this isn't going to be a race car. So anything that's close, we're going to clearance and put the cool tape wherever we can to get it as close from the heat as possible. So right now George is clocking the turbo we'll get the oil line where we need it, lock it down, and then figure whereabouts the compressor housing needs to be clocked for the intercooler piping. Alright, Esther isn't here today, so I made some delicious choices. This is while we are working on the S2000 on Memorial Day. That's what's going on outside. No Memorial Day barbecue plans here. I'm filming it from the safety of the window. Look at that, beautiful. So we have the downpipe in the best possible location. As you see, O2 fits, it's perfectly centered, and it rubs the frame right there. It's kind of like the lesser of the two evils. We move it so it rubs the frame, and we move it the opposite way and it moves. What was the other part it was hitting up here, George?
Rubbing the up all the way up front there, the cross member.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There's a little thing on it for the
it's kind of hard to see it there.
vacuum box, and then the other thing, and it smashes the wire up there. We have to move.
So yeah, it's kind of the where do you want it to rub. So we've got it in this area here, and it's in part of the frame, which is pretty soft. We're going to put some sheet metal aluminum up there, and then basically bend that in. We'll bend it without damaging the metal too much, and create a little bit of room around it. Well, after doing a bunch of these intercoolers and obviously dealing with Kraftwerks, the Kraftwerk stuff is pre-drilled and has brackets already, where this one, it seems like you got to measure it, mark it, adjust it, and then build your own mounts. Guess we're spoiled. So we have our intercooler mounted. What I'm going to do is we drill this hole oversized so it goes back over that plastic, and we have our intercooler sticking through. Well, if I can do this one-handed, I'm not going to be able to. I made like a little so I made a plastic spacer and an extra nut here. I'm going to do, so there we are, we have an extra nut and a plastic washer, so it holds this where we need to be. That way it's supported. Pretty good, huh? So while everybody is grilling out today and drinking beer and doing all kinds of weird stuff, we're drinking sugar-free LHT blue Gatorade. Oh yeah, and working on S2000.
Yeah, turbos.
Alright, so we're still working on this kit, and they include a oil relocation kit, which is basically you remove the oil filter and it has a relocation block on there, and it has the two remote lines that hook to like a remote filter. You'll sometimes see it. You can add an oil cooler this way, so that will go on the block, and it basically is going to relocate these through the oil filter, which is sitting in a different spot. Well, this is the fittings and hoses that they give you. This is push lock stuff, which it's decent stuff. It doesn't come off. I don't know what the working pressure is. I'm not a big fan of it because I feel like if you can push it on, it might push off, but not a big deal. You hear the door. We've got a tropical storm passing over. What I don't like is these rubber hoses. There is two that they give you, and this is included for the drain too. So we have two hoses, maybe 24 inches and 36, and you're supposed to use this for the oil relocation as well as the drain. Well, first off, if you use these two for the oil relocation, there's not enough for the drain. But what scares me is this hose here says it's SAE 30R7. Not for fuel injection systems. Okay, that usually means it's not for high pressure. On the other side, it says 4219XL fuel line PVC EEC 5/8, but working pressure 2.4 bar or 35 psi. If you can read that right there. Let me get that to focus. 35 psi. Anybody that knows much about the S2000 is idle. They run about 25 to 35 oil pressure at idle. Full throttle, 100 psi. I mean, we've seen them peg 100 psi gauge, so it could be 110, 115. And this hose is 35 working pressure. What do you think? Do we say, okay, it came in the kit, we put it on? No, let's throw this crap away. So this is one of our parts bins. Do you have any idea what this is? It's pretty parallel, right?
Just pulled the pan down to add the drain.
What is it, mahogany?
Yes.